In the summer of 480 BC, the fate of Western civilization stood on a knife's edge. The Persian Empire, the most powerful force the world had ever seen, had returned to conquer Greece. At its head was King Xerxes, leading an army so vast that ancient writers claimed it drank rivers dry. Facing this tidal wave of power stood a small coalition of Greek city-states. Among them, one name has echoed through history louder than all the rest: Sparta. Known for its harsh discipline, ruthless training, and unshakable courage, Sparta sent just 300 of its warriors under their king Leonidas to meet the Persian invasion head-on at a place called Thermopylae, the Hot Gates. Thermopylae was no ordinary battlefield. It was a narrow pass, squeezed between mountains and sea, so tight that Xerxes' countless soldiers could not use their numbers to full advantage. Leonidas chose it carefully, knowing that courage and discipline could, for a time, equal the playing field. For 3 days, the Spartans, joined by a few thousand allies, held the line. Persian waves crashed against them like a storm. Arrows blotted out the sun, yet the Greeks fought on, shield to shield, spear to spear. The Spartans fought with precision, rotating men in and out, making the narrow pass a killing ground. Xerxes, frustrated, unleashed his elite force, the Immortals, 10,000 hand-picked soldiers trained to break any enemy. Yet even they were driven back by Leonidas and his men. The Persian king was forced to watch, humiliated, as his army suffered losses at the hands of a vastly outnumbered enemy. But betrayal changed everything. A local Greek named Ephialtes revealed a hidden mountain path to the Persians, allowing them to surround the defenders. Leonidas knew the battle was lost, but retreat was not in Sparta's vocabulary. He dismissed most of the allied troops, keeping only his 300 Spartans, along with 700 Thespians and 400 Thebans who refused to leave. Together, they prepared for the final stand. On the last day, they fought with everything they had. Broken spears, shattered swords, and bare hands became their weapons. One by one, they fell, but never surrendered. Leonidas himself was cut down, his body fought over by Spartans, desperate to defend their king's honor until the end. By the time the dust settled, every Spartan was dead, but their sacrifice had bought Greece precious time. Xerxes would eventually burn Athens, but the Greek city-states rallied, and months later, at the battles of Salamis and Plataea, the Persians were driven back. The Western world survived, thanks in no small part to the stand at Thermopylae. The story of the 300 Spartans has been told and retold for over 2,000 years, often romanticized, sometimes exaggerated, but always remembered. It wasn't just a battle. It was a symbol of defiance against impossible odds, of courage in the face of certain death, of freedom resisting tyranny. Leonidas and his men became legends not because they won, but because they stood when all logic said to run. Their sacrifice echoed across centuries, shaping how the world remembers the meaning of bravery. And in that narrow pass, under the shadow of Persian arrows, 300 men carved their names into history forever.